Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Listen, there have been more articles released about the Liam Payne investigation, and we have to get into them. Let's go. Again, this is all local news, but here we have Liam Payne's father gave the courts the main evidence to charge Rogelio Nores, Roger Nores, with the singer's death. The American psychiatrist who treats the former One Direction member told Rogelio Nores in an email that mixing the antidepressant Zoloft with alcohol could be fatal. The victim's family filed a complaint, key hearing in court for the future of this case. In his encounters with the Argentinian justice system, Liam Payne's father provided the main piece of evidence to build the accusations against the businessman Rogelio Nores, accused by prosecutor Andres Madre of abandoning and killing his son, as well as supplying narcotics. The piece is an email dated September 16th of this year, part of the accusations by the prosecutor Madre, in charge of investigating Payne's death, which occurred a month later when he fell from the balcony of the third floor of Casa Sur Hotel on Acosta Rica Street in the Palermo neighborhood of Buenos Aires and fell against the cement base of a garden umbrella, the base of his skull, and the wound that cost him his life. Now, according to the reports that have been put out there, Liam had started drinking whiskey at 6 a.m. that day. According to the investigators' reconstruction based on information recovered from hotel records, he then drank champagne with the prostitutes from the Buenos Aires towns of El Talar and Isidro Casanova, whom he invited to his room, with whom he had sex and then caused a minor scandal in the lobby by not paying them. He consumed cocaine throughout the day. The toxicology analysis carried out by the forensic medical group of the Supreme Court revealed metabolites of the drug that indicated consumption at least 2 hours before the death. The drug was in his urine, his blood, in his gastric contents, and in his nasal passage. The toxicological analysis also revealed another substance, sertraline, a powerful antidepressant sold in the United States under the brand name Zoloft. Sertraline was found to be present in Liam's blood and stomach contents at the time of his death, according to the toxicology report. Alcohol consumption with sertraline is strongly contraindicate. It can lead to hallucinations, including suicidal thoughts. The email that Liam's dad provided to the 34th prosecutor office led by Madre was written by the Miami neuropsychiatrist who treated his son throughout this year. In the message, the neuropsychiatrist distanced himself from the treatment, stating that it was impossible to accompany Liam in his crisis. Also, that the mixture of sertraline with alcohol could be fatal. The original recipient of that email, according to the Argentinian justice system, was Rogelio Nores. So Rogelio Nores was in this email. It's interesting. Infobay tried to speak with Nores this week, as well as his defense attorney. Both refused to comment. In parallel, sources very close to the businessman pointed out that Payne was just a friend whom he had met years ago in England, and that he simply accompanied him. Madre suspects the opposite, that Rogelio was not just a chaperone, but a de facto manager with an interest in his possible return to the stage. During his stay in Argentina, Nores accompanied Payne to an important five-star hotel in Recoleta area, which he was thrown out, and then to an apartment on Armenia Street, which was raided by the courts, later to a polo club, and finally to Casa Sur Hotel, where Payne checked in at around midnight on October 13th. Now, the thing about these articles, they're not really providing a timeline as far as time frame, because if he checked in on October the 13th midnight, when did he meet Brian Baez around this timeline? Because the second time that they met, based on what Brian Baez had put out there, was like October the 13th to the 14th. This would be that time frame of when he would have seen Brian Baez. According to the indictment, Nordis allegedly controlled Payne's spending, providing him with money to buy drugs and authorizing orders for whiskey and champagne reported from the hotel front desk, which with allowed days for drinking and drug usage, despite the neuropsychiatrist's strict instructions. Nores even became an intermediary in communication between Liam and his family. This is a very important part of this article, which I pointed out earlier. Where did they come up with allowed days? A psychiatrist who is giving you instructions to take an antidepressant is not going to tell you these are your allowed days while you're taking this medication. These allowed days would have had to have been established by somebody else. Liam, Rogelio, both, or maybe just Rogelio, right? I don't know. But this right here is interesting because I've heard this narrative before about allowed days. Now, unless there's like a medical prescription thing that allows you to have drugs and you have allowed days, I think I find this narrative very hard to believe personally. This is the part where I think it gets a little bit interesting, but according to this article, sources close to Rogelio, okay, these are Rogelio's peoples, are telling sources, are telling people that Rogelio only met with this, neuropsychiatrist one time. That might have been the case, okay? But he was still part of that email communication that was handed over to the authorities. Today, Payne's family is the plaintiff in the case. Laura Bernard is the judge, and there's a bit of a halt right now with this case. So there was this issue of like you have Andres Madres, Laura Bernard, the judge, who are bringing charges against these three individuals, right? Well, they're talking about how they are national prosecutors and this needs to be charged at the local level. And so they had to kind of stop their processes of charging, but it doesn't mean that they're not moving forward with this. I think that they're looking to see what else needs to be put in there. They have tried to appeal the case, and I guess it was denied. So they're moving forward with these charges. The crazy part out of this is like they put this picture, they got a picture of Rogelio Nores bringing croissants to the court staff, like trying to bribe the court staff. Like, what the fuck? And by the way, they were declined. But Nores in courtroom 34 with a dozen of croissants. This guy is trash. And by the way, they are looking to charge other hotel employees. But another point that this article made, and I thought was interesting, was that Rogelio Nores is trying to change the narrative so that the blame is towards the hotel employees, allowing them to face those criminal charges. But the prosecution is not swayed. Based on what this article is saying, it looks like there is enough information on this case file to basically charge Rogelio Nores. Even though Rogelio is trying to change the narrative here by using TMC and other sources, no, there's enough to charge. And Rogelio Nores is, in my opinion, very responsible for what has happened here. But listen, this is just me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about this. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.